Democratic presidential contender Bernie Sanders slammed rival Joe Biden's focus on President Donald Trump, saying it was not enough to win the 2020 election. "It goes without saying that we have got to defeat Donald Trump," Sanders said Sunday on NBC's Meet the Press. However, he added, "Beating Trump is not good enough. You've got to beat the fossil fuel industry. You have to take on all of those forces of the status quo who do not want to move this country to energy efficiency and sustainable energies." Biden, in major campaign speech in Philadelphia on Saturday, rejected the belief that Democrats should nominate a candidate who can tap into their party's anti-Trump anger in order to win next year's election. "I know some of the really smart folks say Democrats don't want to hear about unity," Biden said. "They say Democrats are so angry that the angrier a candidate can be, the better chance he or she has to win the Democratic nomination. That's what they are saying you have to do to win the Democratic nomination." "Well, I don't believe it," he added. "I believe Democrats want to unify this nation. That's what the party's always been about. That's what it's always been about. Unity." Sanders has long pushed a more progressive Democratic agenda, a call that made him a force for Hillary Clinton to reckon with in the 2016 Democratic primary. "We took on the entire Democratic establishment," the senator from Vermont said. "Share this article, share, so I understand that our campaign is unique in the sense that we are going to try to win the Democratic primary, going to try to beat Trump. What else we are going to try is to transform the United States of America, deal with this massive level of income and wealth inequality, deal with Wall Street, deal with the greed of the drug companies and the insurance companies and the fossil fuel industry," he said. "Our campaign has a different goal," he added. "It's to transform this country, and we're taking on the entire establishment when we do that." Sanders led the liberal left in the 2016 campaign in a battle against Clinton, wounds of which still fester among Democratic primary voters after hacked emails posted on WikiLeaks showed party officials helped Clinton over Sanders in the contest. Biden holds a commanding lead over Sanders in the early matchup in the battle for the Democratic presidential nomination. In the Real Clear Politics polling average, Biden leads Sanders by 18 points. The former vice president started his campaign with a focus on Trump, which he doubled down on during his formal launch in Philadelphia on Saturday. "We're all in this together," Biden said. "We need to remember that today, I think, more than any time in my career." He also promised to release a climate plan by the end of the month. Younger voters in particular have named climate change one of their top concerns. "The first and most important plan in my climate proposal is beat Trump," Biden said on Saturday. Other Democratic 2020 contenders echo Biden's call for unity. "Most of my adult life I've been able to bring adult people together again and again and get tough progressive things done that people said we couldn't do. And I think it's time to replace the nonsense in Washington with some common sense," Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper told ABC's This Week on Sunday. Montana Governor Steve Bullock, who entered the 2020 race last week, has touted the fact he won re-election in 2016 in a state Trump carried in the general election. "I I was the only Democrat to get elected in the state where Trump won. 2016, 25% to 30% of my voters also voted for Donald Trump. We need to make sure we can win back places we lost, he said on CNN's State of the Union. We need to bridge divides and make DC work, he added.